She's in Mexico, but her family is here in North Texas. Esmeralda Segura moved here when she was 3. Her mother thought she was doing the right thing by changing her status with a trip to Mexico. That was in November. Segura has been stuck in Mexico ever since. Fox 4's Phil Alvarado has a story about the challenges of navigating the immigration system. Phil.
Clarice, the mother, works in the same district where her daughter went to school. Her dream of getting her daughter legal status in the U.S. turned into a nightmare. Now, the family and teachers are struggling to find a way to bring her back to the only home she's ever known.
Sí, mi amor, te amo mucho.
Sylvia Walla can't hide the heartbreak when she talks to her daughter Esmeralda. At only 15 years old, the teenager is stuck in Mexico with relatives she barely knows, facing an uncertain future. It started last November when her mother took her to the U.S. consulate in Mexico to apply for green card status in the U.S. Esmeralda was denied and forced to remain behind in Mexico, even though she grew up in the U.S., brought here illegally at age 3.
I am grateful for everything that's been given to me, but I extremely miss my family, and not being able to see them every day is heartbreaking at times.
Her friends called her Esme. She grew up in the halls of the Maypearl ISD, where she started in pre-K when she was 4. She stood out as a freshman at Maypearl High School.
She's been a straight-A student here. She's an honor student. She's been a cheerleader for us. She's just really someone that leads our school.
Sylvia has faced heartbreak before. Her first husband, Esmeralda's father, died several years ago. The family did not have legal status at the time, but Sylvia remarried with an American citizen, and she was recently granted permanent resident status. She wanted the same for her daughter. She says a letter from the U.S. consulate in Juarez, Mexico, told her to take her daughter there to apply for a green card.
Duro, difícil estar ella separada de mí porque
It's hard, it's very difficult. We've always been together. We talk on the phone, but it's not the same. And she's at an age where she needs her mom.
We were preparing to get things over with.
But because Esmeralda was denied, Sylvia says the U.S. consulate told her the teenager has to wait a year until this November to reapply.
When you tell your student, who you take care of just like it's your own child, that everything's going to be okay, and to hear her voice telling me that she can't come home, you know, you feel like you failed her.
It's a feeling I don't know how to express. It feels like your whole world, that what you come to know, just comes crashing down, and you feel like you're completely alone.
Immigration attorney Jaime Vasquez, who is not involved in Esmeralda's case, says applicants have to undergo rigorous interviews and medical tests when applying for legal status.
And we have a family who is going through the legal process. Yes, they might have entered in the past without status, but they are now fixing it. They're using the tools that the law provides, but the law sometimes doesn't see issues and doesn't react the same way to everybody.
Since Esmeralda had to go through the screening process alone, no one seems to know what went wrong.
We all thought it was going to be fine, and so it was her worst nightmare to be told she couldn't come back to her home.
Friends tell us that a church has actually raised money so the family can hire Laura, which is now working on Esmeralda's case.